Chinese New Year is just around the corner and I need to do some Chinese New Year grocery shopping for the family. And because I'm on a very low budget, I am right now at this place where my mom can usually shop for the things that does not cost that much, and it's the oldest market for all kinds of sole proprietors, individual sellers in this ancient and tiny part of North Guangzhou, Huadu district. It is the oldest market right here. As you can see, it's a very busy street. It is a little bit chaotic because this part of town has a very long history. This place has been the central marketplace for the entire townspeople for more than 4 decades, and that's why the building looks so decrepit and ugly. They're pretty old, right? And I can find all kinds of bargain place right here. Because this is the year of the tiger, and that's why we have all kinds of lovely cartoons right here. I probably need to buy some sort of flowers as well. It's a bit chaotic. I mean, all kinds of vendors just come here and make a stand. They don't need to pay rent for the area that they conduct the commercial activities. They just, you know, start selling the stuff right here. And I think it's very convenient for them, but it also makes the traffic very congested. You see the QR code here? No. 幾錢啊呢個？10蚊一對。10蚊。一嘢好大隻，好靚啦。Because my mom has already purchased this kind of Chinese couplets, so I don't have to purchase it. 呢幾錢啊？8蚊雞。8蚊啊。So I have this Hello Kitty right here. I have this Hello Kitty right here. And it cost me 8 RMB, and I'm thinking about whether I should buy it or not. It's very amazing that some people can actually write with their own brush using all kinds of basic ingredients. It's a shame that I have 0 calligraphy skills, otherwise I could probably make a living there. was around a street corner, and right next to a simple and old desk stood a traditional Chinese calligrapher. Now he's writing down the first Chinese character on this brand new Chinese couplet paper. The first Chinese character is pronounced Jian in Mandarin Chinese. And now the second word he is writing down is pronounced Kao. Together, the first and the second Chinese character means healthy or health in Chinese. 健康 is a good noun. Now, the third word he's writing down is called 平. He needs to adjust his paper a little bit for him to write down the fourth Chinese character. Now, the fourth Chinese character is pronounced an. Together, the third and the fourth Chinese character, 平安, means safe or safety in Chinese. Now, the fifth Chinese word is pronounced 和. 和 means whole. And the sixth one is pronounced 家. 家 means family in Chinese. Now let's look at the seventh Chinese character he's writing down. The seventh Chinese character is pronounced 欢, which means pleasure or happiness in Chinese. Now he's going back to his previous Chinese characters to adjust the writings a little bit to make it look more professional. After he's done, he just hangs up one half of the Chinese couplet onto the wall for every passerby to see. He does it very deliberately. Now let's take a look at how he writes down the second half of the spring couplet. Before he writes down anything, he stares at his note very carefully. Now let's take a look at how he writes down the first character of the second half of the spring couplet right here. The first character he's writing down is called Hu in Mandarin Chinese. And Hu means tiger. And this year is exactly the year of tiger as well. Now let's take a look at the second Chinese word. The second Chinese word is pronounced lai and it means come in Chinese. Now the third word is pronounced 春 and it means spring in Chinese. Now let's look at the fourth Chinese word. The fourth Chinese word is pronounced 到 and its Chinese meaning is arrival or arrive. Now he just goes back to his previous radicals or strokes to make his writings look more professional and beautiful. He does it very carefully. Now let's look at the fifth Chinese word he's writing down. The fifth Chinese word he's writing down is pronounced 词 in Mandarin Chinese, and 词 means farewell or goodbye. Now let's take a look at the sixth Chinese word. The sixth word is pronounced 就 and it means old. Now, the seventh and the final Chinese word he's writing down is a bit complicated. It's pronounced 岁 and it means year in Chinese. He adjusts the strokes and radicals of the previous characters by adding the final brush to make his writing more beautiful overall. Now, he's done writing down this entire set of couplet. So he just hangs up this second half of the spring couplet side by side with the first half that he just wrote. Now let's take a look at the note he was referring to previously. There are two complete sets of spring couplets right here. And he had just finished writing down the one set on the right. So let's analyze this one set together. on the top, the 4 words 四季长安 is the banner. And the first 2 characters of the banner on top means 4 seasons, while the second half of the banner means always safe and sound. Now let's take a look at the entire set of couplet right here. The first half, 健康平安阖家欢 means healthy, safe, whole family happy. Now let's look at the second half of the couplet right here. The second half means tiger comes, spring arrives, goodbye all year. And that is the entire set of spring couplet. It's quite amazing that the uncle just now can write with a brush so well. Now let's look at other gems we can find in the traditional market here. We can see birds for sale here, and we can also see lots of dried meat up here. See? This is the traditional preserved duck, or we can call it dried duck. And right next to it, we can see lots of dried pork. If you want to have some animals that lives in the water, you can ask the fish seller to cut a piece of the fish for you. And if you want to eat prawn, you can have it. It only costs you 30 RMB per 500 grams. And if you want to eat pork, you are in luck. Here, you can see the traditional roast pork here and some roast chicken. Or you can go inside of the store to see more varieties they have. Now let's look at some fresh cow ribs here. It looks very raw. And right next to it, we can find some authentic beef tender meatballs. It's some Cantonese classic. If you are a vegetable lover or some pancake lover, you can always find it around the street corner. Now let's take a look at this lady who's busy chopping up some Cantonese roast pork. And right next to the Cantonese roast pork, we can find some roast pig spine and some roast duck. And right next to it, we see lots of chicken wings and several rows of salted and spiced chicken. And if you're a vegetable lover and you want more varieties, you just have to shop around more. It is Chinese New Year and lots of folks are buying lots of flowers and all kinds of decorations for the New Year celebration. As you can probably tell by now, every vendor has a QR code for your payment. It is the standard here. Now let's take a look at the traditional Chinese bread packet. They're cute, right? And some traditional New Year flower. And some New Year flower and some porcelain decorations. Hello Kitty? No, it's tiger. Now, finally, I just want to say 恭喜发财 and Happy New Year. Thank you for watching this video.